to do that. Shouts out to everyone who is on our virtual. Make sure our devices are turned down. So hold on a second. All right. So we're back. It is what is this? The fourth Sunday or fifth? What is this?
I think it's five. I think ain't it 5 Sundays in January?
It was a long month,
It
huh?
was.
It was.
When was it? Oh, it was, because it seemed like I was just turned up all the way on New Year's Eve. Probably that seems a long time ago.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, here we are at the end of the month. Last Sunday. Hello to those of you watching. Reddy Kruger. Hey there. Kevin Stewart. Hey guys. So share the stream. Let everybody know where you are, what you're listening to, and what you're watching. And then chime in on the conversation. So much has happened over this month, over the past week. Even today, things have still happened today, and we got to talk about them because they're vital. So you probably had different conversations within your own circles about the things that have happened, but you have not had those conversations like this. You have not found the vital parts of them that are not just your average Facebook statuses. I get so sick of that. So here's where we do something different. We talk about things a little bit deeper. So in the news,
we in the news.
Birmingham is definitely in the news. We're always the city that the world is watching, and we definitely put on a great show for you guys. Round of applause for Birmingham, Alabama, where the magic is always front and center. So let's go to the most vital thing first that has impacted the city of Birmingham. The chief of police resigned. And it was really unexpected. I know I was getting a lot of phone calls like, did you know this was coming? I was like, no, I was not privy to this information. Okay.
Why do you think you know, though?
Because I be knowing. But that I did not know. I really had no clue and was actually looking at his number to reach out to for a checkup. Like, it's time to talk about what's going on in Birmingham as far as the police department is concerned. Like, just was looking at that. Then, boom, letter of resignation submitted. I'm going to share the letter with you guys shortly, too.
Wow. So did it happen immediately, or he gave his letter and it was like, all right, I'm going to holler at y'all?
February 25th, and I'm asking for, okay, let me just read the letter. Why you can't wait? So first of all,
questions.
All these questions, but let's see. Yeah, I'm going to read the letter to you. Very straight to the point. The last job I resigned from, baby, the letter was so grand that it prompted me to write more in the book. Like, I was like, oh, this is just this. I snapped. But it was all facts. I'll read it to you one day.
Wow. You guys are so kind. Resignation letters.
Oh yeah, you might have to circle back, or you just kind of want to leak. You want them to know exactly.
All right.
And even if it's not all right, you want them to know exactly what it was. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you everything that I didn't tell you over the past 10 years.
Oh.
So that was a long letter. Mm-hmm. Okay, here is the chief's resignation letter, and it reads, Mayor Randall Woodfin, okay, that's who it's to. Dear Mayor Woodfin, please accept my resignation effective February 25th, 2022. Additionally, I am requesting to be placed on administrative leave with pay from today's date through February 25th, 2022. This will allow me the opportunity to conclude some personal business. This leave will also allow for a smooth transition with the interim acting chief. Thank you for your consideration of this leave request. Additionally, thank you for allowing me to serve the citizens of Birmingham. Sincerely, Patrick D. Smith, Chief of Police, Birmingham Police Department.
I could do one of them type of letters. I like that.
How many sentences is this? 1, 2, 3,
well, let me
4, 5, 6 sentences, and I'm out.
That's great. That was great. That man asked for a leave, then told him he gonna take a leave, and then said,
"Pay me for it."
But I can't even get that out yet because I got some personal stuff going on that I need this check to cover. You know how we do, and that's also gonna cover the time to get acclimated with seeing my replacement walk around here. You know, give me time to get used to seeing him.
Make sure he use all his vacation time before he goes. Like,
straight to the point.
This is better than FMLA. Gotta try that resignation thing.
You've never submitted a letter, Bones?
Ever? No, I quit and knock all this stuff over. I ain't gonna submit no letter about it. Whoa.
All right. So there's the letter. Like, that's what happened. And in the midst of everything else that goes on in the city of Birmingham, like you resign, no, no pre-conversation. But I've been in some conversations here in the recent weeks where people are asking, like, do you get a forewarning before you leave or are let go from a job? And I'm like, it depends on the situation.
It does. If you're leaving the job on your own free will because you got a better position or a better offer somewhere else, you're not leaving with any ill will towards anybody, then
Right.
yeah, write your 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Write it out. It was a pleasure. Thank y'all. So you can get them cakes and cards and stuff. Go and report it. But if it's on bad terms and you like, you know what? I just ain't gonna come. I ain't gonna even quit. I'm just gonna stop answering the phone.
And you gotta mail my W-2s and my check is direct
regardless.
deposit.
Yeah, you have to do that.
So I don't even have to come here for that. Wow. So what are your thoughts about the vitality of it? This is the chief of police leaving a city that's in what some people would say dire straits and turmoil when it comes to crime and violence.
It is.
Because that is exactly the thought I had.
Really?
Honestly, laughing about it, but I really sat here and I was like, man, I would hope that that decision came, because whatever your policy is on violent crimes, it doesn't seem to be effective. And maybe that's what you saw, or I'm not certain if Randall held your feet to the fire because the World Games are coming. I'm not certain, but I know the violence in the city is out of control, and
every day,
every other hour, right? So as chief of police, I'm looking at you to ask you what are you doing to mitigate this, and you don't have an answer, so you resign. Cool.
Well, okay, so we feel like it was that type of situation because nothing. I mean, it's not like the letter said I'm leaving because of. I may have, it didn't say anything about other opportunities. It didn't say anything about the job being too. It didn't say it. None of that matters why I'm leaving. I'm leaving, and these are the arrangements that I need. So it does leave that. It does leave that. Did he leave us hanging though? Because what I see is that if you all are saying that all this stuff is happening in the Magic City, all this crime and violence is already happening, what place? I mean, he was in a place with a title, but what was he doing? So, like, what is he leaving? Is my question.
I mean, I think I guess they're doing everything they can possibly do, and then to be honest, we get a little upset when they do roadblocks and stuff like that because it kind of feels like, okay, you're policing the wrong people. And you're making it uncomfortable for some of us to be out and about or whatever the case may be, because you really don't catch anybody on roadblocks. You don't. You catch people who just trying to go home from work.
They may not have insurance. They may have a warrant. They may have a gun in the car. They may be smoking a blunt.
Right, maybe, but they ain't killed nobody. They know who you looking for.
Okay.
Most times they're not. Like, I would like for an officer to actually tell me, well, yeah, we caught Boom Boom Ray Gibson. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay, life.
It was just on. That's why that name
movie reference. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you caught him in a roadblock. You didn't catch him. So I mean, what purpose is that really serving? And is it really helping?
Okay.
I don't think it is.
So yeah, I gotta go. Like, I'm out of here. So does this mean that an interim chief had to be appointed before he tendered his resignation? That's a question. And then another comment: I've never seen Birmingham this bad. So I don't know, because I was in middle school when bomber jackets and gang activity was like really popping in Birmingham. I don't know that I remember people being killed
every day.
I don't know about that part of it, but I do know it was kind of, I'm trying to remember what that was like, because I thought that was like the worst when gang activity was really popping. That's what I thought. Am I wrong?
I'm not really sure, because like you said, I don't remember anything just really severe happening. Like, we used to hang out after football games and stuff at Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, and
we
just be chilling and stuff, and nothing would ever happen to that degree.
Yeah, I don't remember no East Side High thing ever. And I've been to several schools, several of them, from Bessemer to Birmingham, and through the gang violence, through skipping school, through everything that was
violence,
normal. I don't
bad.
recall this, right? It's been so many school shootings, so many, I mean locally to us, not nationally, right?
Every other day is a teenager being killed, it's a child being hurt.
It's children, the abductions, oh my goodness, the young lady's daughter who just made it out of the hospital, we were putting Purple Hearts up for her. I can't remember her name, and please forgive me, but I think she was 12 years old. She had gotten shot. She had to have the surgery.
They came on the show during Crime Stoppers.
So, I mean, things like this, I don't remember going through this. I don't remember thinking about her cousin that got shot. And I don't remember this as a child, as a teenager. I do think it's totally out of hand now. And I don't know who has a resolve for it.
Right. So does it fall on the chief?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. Let me read some.
I think that's a bit of pressure on the chief because he can only do so much. I think it really starts at home, honestly.
It's a full village situation. It's just like saying the president of the United States he's fighting COVID. What?
That's true.
How?
But you're gonna want to know what his plan is to fight it.
And I can agree with that.
You know, it has to be able to be implemented, and seen and supported.
Okay, I hear you. So no plan is rolled out, and the crime and violence is continuing. I'm not gonna ask you to go, but I'm gonna pressure you to go. I believe in that method a little bit. People know when it's time to go. I don't have to fire you.
Now, some of our viewers are saying it's a epidemic we're not speaking about. It's a heroin epidemic in the city that no one is talking about.
And I heard this fentanyl it was like so much that got dropped off in this many people. But this was in the whole United States of America.
Yeah, they're saying that is a local problem that no one is addressing in our area. That it is a pandemic for heroin in our city limits.
So heroin is an epidemic proportion.
Epidemic, excuse me. They did say that.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I mean, COVID takes over everything, supersedes all. We're in a COVID pandemic, but in a heroin epidemic.
Yes. So I didn't know that. And that's how far. It's not that I'm removed from that walk of life, but I am that far removed that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know about like heroin type. It's heroin being dropped off and everybody's shooting up on needles. Like it.
Right.
I don't know people who do that. I don't know people who even speak about that.
Right.
So it's kind of like
people who do it, they just don't speak about it.
I mean, if they're functioning as well as they are.
Yeah, they're just not telling you.
Like, if you're functioning well on it, then hey, I can't judge you anyway. But
So, okay, viewer, listener who provided that information, share more information, and we'll do some research in between time too to see. But then, like street talk is what vital is. So, like, if it's somebody that says, "Hey, this is what we need to be talking about," give us some talking points. So either you be a part of the conversation. So, if you want to share in the convo, you can hit us up on the phone lines at 994-8949. Of course, comment on the streams and it will be shared. There are so many different streams. So if we don't see you, and I'm saying this to you all who are watching on live, if you don't see, like I see comments from one stream, and if you don't see yourself on that one and you are like going in, writing some stuff, reach out. Yeah, we got to find you. We need to find where you are so that we can get your comments in. Here's another one. They're killing women and kids now as well, and the elderly. That didn't really happen when I was growing up in Birmingham back in the day. All right. Another one. You were in middle school more than a generation ago. Society is so much worse now as it relates to crime. Birmingham is keeping up with the world's pace. And yes, he does know when I was in middle school because he was probably taking me there. Shouts out to my uncle for tuning in. To the phone lines we go. Caller, you're in with the Vixens on Vital V94.9 WATV. What's up?
Yeah, you guys talked about it a lot, so I'm gonna try to cover at least one of the things I heard. But about the crime in Birmingham, and you say about you don't remember certain things. It really just depends on where you were. So like I grew up in Gate City, grew up in the Brickyard, grew up in Smithfield. All the things that are happening today, they've been happening. So there's nothing new. When they say nothing new under the sun, it's not
nothing new, right?
It's been happening. So if you think about the current police chief, the previous police chief, every police chief you had, I'm 38 years old. So in the last 29 plus years, each police chief we've had, what have they done? Because from my perspective, nothing's changed. So I would say more so it being on the community than the police, because police don't do so much. They're paid to do a job, great. But if we don't reinforce, hey, we need to take care of our community. Hey, we're not going to tolerate this. We're not going to praise this. We're not going to cover up this and the other. We've got groups and Facebook dedicated to saying, "Hey man, the police over here," which is okay if you haven't renewed your license or you let your insurance fail because things happen. You know what I mean? But when you think about it, it's such a large scale. Boom Boom Ray did kill somebody, and he is in that Facebook group, and he was riding the car that day when they were doing the parole blog. So he went the other way,
right?
As opposed to me being inconvenienced for about 15 minutes because hey, I'm getting a police check, but me, I've got everything I need because I know. In the past, yeah, I let my license lapse. I let my insurance lapse. So I know I'm not going to let that happen again because it costs me more money when I do get pulled over.
What?
Just pay my insurance. Okay, cool.
Right.
So I'm okay with getting a traffic stop if I know that they're in such and such neighborhood looking for this and the other. And they say they only target certain neighborhoods, but ain't too many people out of Mountain Brook killing people that we know of. It's not making the news, but we know, we as a group know who killed who. We all know it. We know where they came from. We know they came from Ensley, they came from West End, they came from Center Point, wherever. We know this stuff. So the places the roadblocks are happening is where the actual crime is being. So when people cry about, man, y'all in the wrong neighborhood, y'all doing this, doing that, but then turn around and say, man, they killed my cousin, and I don't know what happened. How come ain't nobody doing nothing? It's like a conundrum. It's a double-edged sword. It's like, what are we as a community going to do about it? Then we have to rely on the police, and then we say, hey, the police, so it just depends. Like I said, this is my life. So
I appreciate you with that insight. You like when I say summary, oh baby, he had a summary. I did want to ask him a question. I want to take this other caller that's waiting as well. But the question is, when we say the community, because I see it right here on the live as well, the community needs to be more involved. What does that look like? Before we answer that question, caller, you are in with the Vixens on Vital. What's your question, comment, thought, or feeling?
Oh, Vixens, how y'all doing? I'm Jeremiah. I just wanted to say that it's a epidemic with the heroin thing. I just heard y'all speak on that. When we was coming up, I came up in the 80s. I seen the crackheads in the streets. I seen that. The crack epidemic, and we seen what it did to our neighborhood. But people not making money out of crack no more. You see these young guys with all this money, all these hundreds of thousands of dollars. What you think they making it off of? They making it off heroin, and it start with the pills, the Percocets, the Lortabs, and also the heroin itself. It's have taken over the city. That's why the crime rate is high. See, Alabama not used to heroin. That come from New York. We not used to that. We not used to seeing people all slouched over when you go into the stores and you see the people all slouched over and leaning and all that old stuff. It's because they on heroin, right? So I think it's bigger than the police force. I think it's bigger than the mayor. It's bigger than all that. If you can't stop the heroin, you would not stop the crime rate in the city, period.
All right. Thank you.
The fellas are chiming in. They feel strongly about this.
Ain't nothing like an educated, vital black man.
Come through one time, Kings.
You hear me? All right.
You know how I am. I'll be over here looking at stuff.
Yes.
Per AckermanSecurity.com, Birmingham has the third highest homicide rate in the country when population is taken into account.
So we're number 3 terrible. To who?
In the country.
So that means per capita square mile per person, we are number 3. We beat out Chicago.
And we thought Chirac was the one.
Now. That's what I'm telling you. It makes no sense.
Okay. So number 3, according to the space that's between us, Cliff says it needs to be a partnership with the community and the police, but the community does not trust the police. So there lies another issue that we talk about every week. Every week in every conversation we have, the word trust comes up and how we don't trust each other in any capacity. Yellowbird, you're gonna chime in on this one because we're talking about it's a concept of mental health. Like we've been bamboozled and led astray so much by each other that we don't trust in any setting. So with the police, with friendships, with partnerships, with business, nobody trusts anybody. So therefore, nothing can be done. Oh, so it sounds like we have a mental health crisis that is causing the result, or that is resulting in what we're seeing as far as the crime and violence situation. In most of these things, poverty, that affects your mental health.
Yes, it does.
Abandonment, rejection, lack of identity. I don't know. This ain't mine. I don't care whose it is. There's no pride. Boom. Mental health. Family dysfunction, mental health, and a lot of this. The response to a lot of it is violence.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have it, so I'm gonna take it, right? Yes. Even the heroin, the epidemic of substance abuse is because of what I'm going through, mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness gracious. So with that being said, when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about a Black Wellness Expo that is coming to the city of Birmingham. And that does not mean that we're not going to come back to this, but I think that was an awesome segue to help us realize why this is happening, when it's happening, how you can be a part of it. And it's all going down right here on V94.9WATV. We'll be right back in less than a minute. Y'all stay put. Don't move.
Right there. Come on, y'all, with the good information.
Guys, we only have
time.
about 40 seconds. I'm not going to even stop the video. I'm not going to put up any other banners. Just stay where you are.
That's
We'll be
right.
Right back
y'all
in.
get to hear behind the scenes, so mind y'all business.
It's chilly.
It is. It really is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm not.
I should have took a shit.
Tyra, if you do not come over here, I mean,
You gotta
I
come
know she
over here.
lied. She said more than support. I know she lied.
Situation that we got the mind, body, whole situation.
Y'all gotta get on StreamYard so people can see
Yellowbird
y'all.
Counseling presents the Black Wellness Expo, Saturday, February 5th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Pips. The expo will promote mental health and overall wellness within the Black community. It's hosted by me, Lady Wu, with Gap Tooth with the music therapy. Get your tickets now at January 25th at YellowbirdCounseling.com. Come and check out vendors, food and drinks with your ticket purchase, and the 360 photo booth. All of this is sponsored by Sweetie Wellness Integrative Nutrition
Y'all talking about
Coaching.
food on this
Yes, it is the Black Wellness Expo, Saturday, February 5th. And for tickets, go to YellowbirdCounseling.com.
That's dope, man.
It's B94.9 WATV. And we are back, the ladies of Yellowbird Counseling. And Tyra, what's the name of your new business?
The Reiki Garden.
The Reiki Garden are in the building to talk about what you just heard about. The first ever Black Wellness Expo. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey. So this is major, especially when you talk about being solution focused. You know, you don't want to just sit up and talk about the issues. And Vital is definitely about action. So I am happy to have you ladies in to tell us what's going on the 5th of February.
So, man, it's going to be an entire movie. And to think, this whole idea started with me following my wellness, getting my massage, talking business, while we, making sure our mind and body, because I can't be a whole therapist trying to tell y'all how to get well. And I don't do my
Girl, wait.
I see my
appreciate
therapist
that.
every week. And I get my massage therapy every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
We got to have
Yep,
our wellness in place out here. But kind of to add to what y'all were talking about earlier, that's the whole kind of vision behind this expo, is to introduce wellness to the Black community in a way that's fun and exciting.
Yes.
Because, there's such a stigma around us receiving mental health treatment, which obviously we need it.
Mhm.
We got poverty in place. We got, I like to call it trauma bonding, a
Yeah,
lot of
girl.
trauma bonding to the white community, and just thinking that all we got to do is go to church. There's nothing wrong with going to church, but you can have Jesus and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that you got to be crazy or something got to be wrong with you, but we all got
Something is wrong with
Something.
we all got things going
not-
There's
on.
always something.
We all live in a world we can't control,
Mm-hmm.
with thoughts in our head that we can't predict sometimes. So I really wanted to introduce basic wellness to the Black community in a way that we can accept. So
Absolutely.
we're going to have mental health consults. We're going to have 30-minute massages. We're going to have Yanni steams.
Steam that thing.
We're going to have cosmetology services. We're also going to have health and wellness vendors. We're going to have, of course, Lady Wu hosting us for the evening. DJ Gap Tooth on the 1 and 2. We got food by Simone's Kitchen ATL. We got desserts by Shay Sweets. So it's going to be an entire
Everything.
movie.
It's gonna be so well.
It's going to be pow pow. So, and we had it. We added mental health consult to every service ticket so that everybody
Yeah.
would
That's
be
what's up.
able to get checked on, and not feel singled out.
Right.
So,
And we say a
I love
consult,
that.
like a lot of people be like, so how long is a consult? I don't even offer them because it turns into a session. I say, like, we'll call it that, right? Yeah, it's a mental health consult just to kind of ask the basic questions. But we end up talking, it's a whole session. So this was your consult. Did you like it? Yes, like it's over. This was an hour and 50 minutes. over.
We got a little regimen for us. So it's gonna be a 30-minute
Okay.
mental health
You sticking to the
consult.
schedule.
We got
Okay.
we got some, a framework we're gonna go by so people can get what they need and take a card with them and do their follow-up. So yeah.
Okay.
What time does the event start?
Starts doors open at 1. All service tickets will start promptly at 1:30. And we're completely sold out of service tickets. However, I did open up some general admission tickets for discounted price for the Vital Show.
Oh,
We got some general admission y'all can get, and all general admission comes with food and drink. It's a food and drink included in general admission, access to the photo booth, vendors, and then of course there'll be several wellness practitioners for you to talk to, even if you don't have a service ticket, just to be able to get consultation and take your next steps so your 2022 can be all that you hoped and dreamed of because you're taking your wellness in mind.
Right. That's what's up.
Right.
So
General admission seemed pretty nice.
right.
I know how we do. I had to make it,
Yeah, you did.
And I hate to have to ask, like, so what does that include? You came with it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because people always want to know, like, do I get a shirt? Do I get a swag bag? You get this
some lotion or
consult. You get this consultation.
Well, you know what? It looks like we might possibly have some additional services we might be able to give out to general admission people, but you had to come and see.
Right.
Come on.
See, we might have a little something for general admission as well as far as services concerned.
So I know that there are tickets right now on yellowbirdcounseling.com and also on Eventbrite /
Black Wellness Expo.
Black Wellness Expo. So yeah, I mean, you can look it up. Y'all know how to look stuff up. Go get the ticket so you can be in the place to learn how to be well. So Miss Tyra B, you are doing something new. And I remember us talking about this a couple of years ago, where I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. And you have found that and you have started a business.
And I love it. I honestly wish I would have thought of this sooner.
When you find it, that means that you're ready for it.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, so I am a licensed massage therapist in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Congrats.
Today I just finished my post-operational care therapy. So my BBL
awesome.
girls, my tummy tuck girls, my 360 lipo girls. I learned so much, so much.
Can you tell us just a tad bit of what you learned? Because I have to talk about something later on in the show. Did you learn something that was positive or negative about those procedures?
Honestly, now that I'm in the framework of creating the body, because really you have to have the massage therapist. I had no idea how important we were, and doctors don't even know how important the massage therapist's work is. The doctor's job is to insert what he needs to insert, remove what he needs to remove, right?
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But the massage therapist's job is to sculpt the body, move the fluid, do lymphatic drainage so that you don't have pockets of fluid just sitting, because it's a traumatic surgery and your body has to heal itself again from the inside out. Nerves has to reconnect, connective tissue has to do its thing again. You need a therapist. And also, because of the treatment and because it's kind of sort of really traumatic for a lot of people, we are also the emotional support.
Mm-hmm.
There is of course there's black and white in ethics, but when it comes to taking care of that person, you actually emotionally begin to take care of that person, because you see that person all the time. You check their wounds, you check to make sure they don't need to go to the doctor for anything. So you really do become a caregiver.
Wow.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, girls. This is another epidemic that we're in. And as a mental health professional, I often think about the state of mind that you have to be in, or how you feel about yourself as far as self-esteem and self-image before you go through with a procedure. And depending on what kind of procedure it is, what like what is that conversation before? I started in HIV work. That was my first work for mental health. And I would have clients that, may want to do a sex change or something to that degree. And it comes with mental health counseling before. Like let's check before to process where we're going and what you're expecting,
really
what
what
may
you
you
need,
face.
yeah.
Right. So I think about that. So Tyra, for you to say the emotional support and really learning how to be there for people in such a way is really, really important and upstanding. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So you'll be doing the massages on Saturday.
Actually, I may or may not.
Okay. All right.
But it's a great thing. Shout out to my alumni, Birmingham Massage School. Birmingham School of Massage, however you pronounce it. It's up to you. But I have some students that are currently on their way out. And I believe in collaboration over competition.
Yes.
All of the students that will be touching the people who are coming are going to be new upcoming licensed massage therapists. So get their number. I don't care. You can come see me if you want to. Still come see me. I don't care. But get to know that therapist that's going to be touching you at that time. You might find that you like them. Yeah. So I definitely like the idea of spreading the love, because I was given the opportunity of word of mouth and I was able to get my job and everything flowing well. I want someone else to have the same.
Aww. That's what's up. That's right. It's about that. And you just got in the field. So that's already a big up. So the energy of the event. You say expo, so people will be walking around because people want to walk into a place and know you're not going to be sitting down. Nobody's going to be coming to you, pulling your arm to get you to come to a booth. This is actually where you walk around, you visit booths, you ask questions, you eat, you dance, you drink. That.
I think the best part about all of it is, so if you all don't know, it's going to be at PEPS. I don't want to say the full abbreviation of PEPS. Right. I forget it every time.
Prodigy. Yeah, Prodigy.
Okay. Events and promotions. There we go. Services. There we go. So I love that building because it is 3 layered. So the first layer is going to be, of course, the normal entrance. If you all been to Melanin Mimosas, shout out to Melanin Mimosas. If you've been there, you know the bottom layer.
Yeah.
It's the it's the bar, it's the stage, it's the whoop-de-whoop. The second stage is almost like the second half is almost like a little VIP area, but it's also a second bar. Enough space. We're going to be possibly using that as to where the photo booth will be.
Okay.
But the third level of that building is just silence. It's upstairs. It's away from the party downstairs. That's where the spa will be taken care of. So all of our spa clients will not be interrupted by whatever party's going on downstairs. Everybody can have fun downstairs. Upstairs, you can get your calm and peace. And when you get done having calm and peace, come downstairs and get a drink.
Yes. So it's set up for everybody. Everybody can go and be well. Figure out, what it is that you need. And you may not find it unless you go looking for it. So this is a great place to go look for it. As the lady said, I will be hosting and Gap Tooth will be DJing. So it's definitely going to be a groove, a vibe, but it's going to, that's a part of health and healing, like having some positive energy conducted and then having some good music. That's
always make me feel
for
good
some
anyway.
Yeah. So for some people that is your therapy.
Food.
Yeah.
And some food.
And I get to vibe walking around here.
Oh yeah, we got you taking care of the total mind body connect. We even got one of our sponsor, Zodi Wellness, and I just really like what she's doing with her practice with connecting brain gut health and really having different nutritional therapies that she offers, aromatherapy, CBD, just for people really trying to get their nutrition and dietary needs met. Also a Black-owned business. She's an RN. Her name's Robin Washington. She's the owner and CEO. So I'm very, very excited to have a sponsor that can make that other connection with us. With the brain gut health, we're taking care of the mind body, and then we got the brain gut. So you're going to walk out of there just really knowing what your purpose and goal for your wellness is this year. And then you'll see other parts of your life begin to prosper and succeed because you put yourself first, which is also a deficit for us. We try to take care of everybody else first. We put ourselves last. I can't tell you how many parents I have calling me talking about I just got to get my baby right. but that ain't how that work. You got to get yourself right. It's kind of like on the plane where they tell you to put your mask on before you put your neighbor's mask on. It's that type of thing. So this is a experience where you can really put your wellness first and have fun doing it.
Awesome. All right. So yeah. Live radio. Yeah, like papa. So this is going to be amazing. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you all are going to get your tickets if you have not already gotten them. Saturday, February 5th. What time? Boom, boom, boom.
1 to 5. 1 to 5. Doors open at 1. All service tickets start promptly at 1:30.
Okay, so service tickets. Let's be clear about what that is. Come on, get some of this. come on, get some of this.
Get on in here. Tell me.
My name is Key Marcella. Key on
What
the
up,
field.
Key?
I am a cosmetologist, so I do specialize in natural hair. It's nice to meet everybody.
Absolutely. Key was in on the show last week. You know, like I love when people can see what they're going to be a part of before it actually happens. And when I say really jumped in and got vitalized. So I'm glad to see you in person in the studio. And when we think about health and wellness, so massages, mental health, and then that look, like capping it all off. When you're not well,
you don't look well.
And then if you do look well, it's because you put it on and somebody can still see through it. So I often think about like when people, you know, I didn't want to take a bath. I was depressed. I didn't take a shower. I didn't put clothes on. I hadn't combed my hair in months. I hadn't done this. I hadn't done that. As a stylist, I'm sure you see and hear a lot of people's other issues as well.
Yes, definitely. And most times, believe it or not, as a hairstylist, we actually go through the same thing.
Yeah.
When they talk to us, it's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And we're therapists too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So most of the time, I used to absorb that energy, and I had no idea how to get rid of it. And I talked with someone who was like a mentor to me, and she actually explained to me, when you're washing your hands, wash it, like brush yourself off. And what it's going to do is just release all of the negativity, all of the stress that was coming from that person that you're touching.
Right.
It comes off of them and it comes onto you. You just release it that way. And it helps a whole lot. And honestly, I felt a whole lot better. I stopped feeling so heavy. And recently, I was just neglecting myself because I'm so used to taking care of other people.
Right.
And it's really hard to, just think about yourself, So now, of course, look at me now. I got myself together and I'm like, yeah, I got to get on my stuff. Like, I have to be an advocate for women who can't do for themselves, and who wants to look pretty, who wants to make themselves better, who wants to feel like themselves again, especially after childbirth.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Childbirth,
breakups. I have a 7-month-old, so it's a lot to deal with.
Okay, y'all start a club.
7-month-old mothers in the building.
Y'all start y'all little club. I remember.
It's rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember those days. I remember those days.
Yeah, so at the expo, I'll actually be doing lashes, strip lash applications, brow tinting, and also brow waxing.
Okay.
If you want to get anything else waxed as far as facial wise, we can get that situated. So
just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yes, ma'am.
Just in time for the concert that's the same night. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Ricky Rose will be in the building.
Oh, you coming to the expo? Okay.
Is he? I'm like, is he at the expo?
No.
Give me 5 tickets.
So let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with the Vixens right here on V94.9 WATV. What's your question, comment, thought, feeling?
Yes, I'm in the bathtub right now. I wonder if I can call y'all name about 50 minutes.
You can call what do they be calling in the bathroom in the mirror?
Oh, Candyman.
Call Candyman.
5 times.
5 times. Make sure you turn the light off and say it real slow.
Why you gotta call our name? Just keep listening. That should do the trick. Okay. All right. I just got you some free wellness. It's B94.9 WATV Vital. So if you're calling with a vital thought, vital feeling, I got you. But if not, if that's vital to you, I guess it could be vital to me. So I hope that it just helps you to just keep listening. That's the easiest way to do this. Like nothing special. I was gonna say to Key, I was doing natural hair And this was like years ago, like 10-ish, 15 years ago. And there was a program called Reflect Refer. I don't know if they still even talk about that or not, but for stylists that weren't trained to address mental health issues, or when they saw something deeper, like reflecting, this client is sitting in my chair and they getting it in. You reflect what, you give back to them kind of what they're giving you. And then you don't really give advice because we don't do that. And then you refer, you have people that you can refer to. And I know that helped when that was it was a whole campaign. So when that was going on, a lot of the stylists were relieved. They were really relieved because, like, I didn't know what to say, what to do. You reflect. Okay, so I hear that you're going through blah, 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 blah. It's not girl. So yes. And then I would have man, refer. So when you teach about washing and scrubbing, that's awesome. Add that to Reflect Refer. Like, if you don't know, there are people that do know. So Keith, thank you for giving them another tool in that toolkit to like really wash and scrub, get it off, leave it there. Wash it down the drain, wash it down the sink. Okay. All right. Get your tickets. One more time where the tickets are. Yellowbird
So you
Girl.
So you can purchase your tickets at yellowbirdcounseling.com. Again, that's yellowbirdcounseling.com. Or if you go to Eventbrite, you can just simply search Black Wellness Expo. Black Wellness Expo. This is Birmingham's first inaugural Black Wellness Expo. So we do plan to have this yearly, but you definitely want to have your face in the place for the first hosting of this event because it's going to be an entire movie.
Hello. All right. So be there, IB Square. I'll be there. Vixens will be in the building, and you should be there as well. So listen, kind of on the same tip, but switching gears a little bit. Just today, got some breaking news that 2019 Miss USA Chesley Christ, age 30, she was Miss North Carolina before becoming Miss USA. She was also an attorney who fought for social justice. She was really concerned about Black women and Black imaging and Black issues, and also a TV host on Extra, 2-time Emmy nominated. Beautiful young Black woman jumped to her death today.
Really?
Yeah. 30 years old. And like I just named all of those accolades, right? Just big things that she's done and was a part of. And even still, there was still room for pain, right? There was still enough room for her to feel that, like, if I take this leap and get it over with, life will be, I won't have to deal with it. So that breaking news and tonight's guest, I just felt like this is a great opportunity to continue the conversation from last week. Last week we were talking about Regina King's son and how that impacted people, and how, as his mother, her only son, and he died by suicide. So there is definitely something for us to talk about, and a conversation for us to have out loud, because if they're struggling publicly and people don't see it or don't understand it or don't want to intervene, imagine how many people right around you are struggling. And we don't call it.
Affecting everybody.
Yeah.
Rich, poor, young, old.
You said what?
The pandemic is affecting everybody.
Yeah, the pandemic is.
But I think it's bigger than the pandemic. I think what the pandemic has done has allowed some people to see themselves, right?
Right.
I have to deal with the home I've created. I have to deal with the relationship that I appear to have created. It really makes people have to sit down and deal with themselves, because I'm quarantined with this lifestyle that I really don't want to be in, but I post to be, y'all didn't catch that POST, but continue to post it. But nonetheless, I think it just make people have to address what is mental health, right? Because I couldn't get to a Xanax fast enough. I couldn't get to work fast enough. I couldn't get to happy hour because it's closed. I couldn't get to me and the guys hanging out because 6 of them not hanging out no more because they grandmas or whatever, the pandemic has caused to change. I think the pandemic made people have to address. Yes, heighten their awareness of whom they are. And what I think was awesome for the therapists in the room is the fact from hot hairstylists to massage therapists to mental health therapists. I've shared that I'm a participant in therapy for 7 years. So I know that it's a need, right? And some people are just learning it's a need, and I'm 40 knowing that it's a need. Some
Mhm.
people just learning. So I give people a lot of latitude to learn with them, right? I flex with them a lot. But some people are not there. Some people don't know what it looks like. It's just like the officers that continue to shoot and kill people that needed mental health
Right.
assistance, right? I don't know how to deal with you. So I fear it for my life, or I fear it for you with your own life, something like that. It's a miseducation that's happening. It is an awakening that's happening, but I think it's so dope when you guys do functions like this because it makes it okay.
Right.
It sounds like it feels okay to get help, right? So kudos to you guys. You guys are superheroes.
The idea of knowing that it is okay to get help, it's okay. But when I'm in the middle of this space, whatever the space is that I'm in, I may not want to go somewhere and be social. I don't care about how nice it sounds and whatever. I don't want to do that. I'm in this space, and this space is really heavy. This space is really dark. This space is really, it's really just for me. It's where I am, right? Have we all kind of been in a space like that before?
Absolutely.
Like I can't really verbalize where I am right now, and I may not even want to.
Right. I just know I don't want to talk. I don't want to go do that. I don't want to go.
I don't.
I don't.
Right?
I don't.
Okay. So think about this whole situation I just gave you where she was I saw a description of this young lady's personality about how she exuded love. That's what she did. And I often talk about how you can exude something that you wish you could get back, but maybe I saw something else. Like I think about that, but I saw something that said that maybe some people are here to give more than they'll ever get.
That's unfortunate.
I said, oh, right.
That's unfortunate.
To give more than they ever get. And especially when you talk about love, because I personally I believe in giving out. That's all I want to give out. And in the midst of that, I saw another post where somebody said it's the good people who get burned. So if you go through life giving love and never getting it back the way that you think you deserve to get it back, or just always feeling like, I'm gonna keep giving it because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's how I'm supposed to be. And you never get that fullness back. It may lead you to these type feelings, right? So I want us to talk about how we can speak to people. Like if we can agree that we've all been in that space, what helped you out of that space? Or who helped you out of that space? Or what did you hear or see that helped you out of that space?
Now that is whoa.
What? I got answers. I just don't want to answer first.
When I was in my space, recognizing what was wrong and taking time to just be comfortable with myself and talk to myself and kind of really pinpoint, why am I crying? I'm crying because of this, or is it really this? And I just feel like it's worse because I have this issue going on as well. I mean, a lot of times people don't like to sit with themselves and think things through. And that's one of the problems. You have to deal with your own demons on your own. And also a strong village is very important. When I'm ready to talk, my girls were there.
Right.
And they also understood she don't want to talk, but she okay. She texts, she all right.
Right. Okay.
But
So
you
the
have to learn to
village,
give people space.
So your village, and then you being able to deal with you in the time and space that you needed.
Yeah, because a lot of times people everybody's not going to feel good all the time. That's not what it is. And people need to stop enforcing that, or making people feel like you're supposed to feel about like this about your life because it's this or it's that. And that you don't always have to be happy. I don't care what nobody say. You have the right to experience all emotions and you need to feel them.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
When I was in this space, because we go in and out of these spaces. Just being real about being human.
You go in and out of certain spaces, true enough, but I don't think you go in and out of the space of wanting to kill yourself regularly, right? I do think that is a particular space, and I do think we all have been there in some degree.
And so many people don't admit that.
Yes, and that's where I was going with that. Like, that's why I look at you like, girl, you want me to answer this on the radio? This ain't even in group text. Wait a minute, we did not even go over this question, nothing, but because for me, I'm one of those people that, again, I'm a 7-year participant, right? My anxiety and depression is controlled through medication, through family, through having a support system, and through what Candace said, time. The biggest thing that ever let me out of one of those positions was time, right? Because it always appears that my support system was different. It always appears that my mindset was different, although I'm in the darkest place that I feel like I've ever been. And yeah, I feel like the best out right now is me not being here. That's a thought that's unfortunate that can't happen to anyone, right? And when you're in it's not a way to come out of it. It's a way to I want to use the right word, because you really don't come out of it, because I can remember when I thought this way. I can remember what I felt. So I know what can trigger me back into it. I think coping, what helps you cope, right? I think I've learned to identify with, to be able to cope with what's triggered that thought, right? Hey, what are you coping with? What's causing this depression? Are you missing your kids? Are you feeling alone? Are you feeling abandoned? What is causing this at this moment, right? So I have to cope, because I don't know.
You have to find those skills that, like I always say, you have to go in your box and see what worked. Like what
Yes.
works. So now I got to use the skills that I'm familiar with that work. And when I say skills, I don't just mean the basic. Oh, for somebody, it may be basic. It may be, let me just turn my favorite song on. But if that was the case, you would have turned that on before this.
Right,
before I got to this
Exactly.
point. Like, oh, I did turn the song on. So now I'm still thinking about this. So suicidality is one of those, it's a space. I have to call these mental health moment spaces, because we go in and out. We come in and out of different situations. We come in and out of different triggers. You can walk into a moment in a few minutes that may remind you of something.
Yes.
It may trigger something for you. So in those moments, where I'm strong right now, but you may catch me where I'm not strong, and you could do anything that would trigger me into thinking like I was thinking back then. But when you're in it, there are some people who are always in that space. There are some people who are always in that space.
Yep.
And those are the people that I really have a space for, because that's a dark, deep despair. Like that is really a troubling despair. How did we get here? Like, how do we get here? Can we dig out of this? Yeah, we can, but it's gonna take some time. So are you committed to digging out of this? I'm gonna dig with you, but are you gonna be committed to digging out of this space?
Can you identify that person though? If I haven't let you in to know it, is it tales of who this person is? Or is this like a hidden problem, like the human trafficking? Like it's no way for us to know, what's happening with you, because your world has cloaked you so that to everyone else, just day to day.
If I asked you the same question and said, because human trafficking doesn't look a way to me, but I didn't have experience with it and you have experience, might you know it if you saw it? So I may know it because I know it, right? If I see it, I know it. So I know what that is. Come over here with me, right? So when we see things and we don't say something and we know it, that's a bit heavier.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just kind of talking to that person, y'all were talking about the person that might not feel like going out, or just might be in a really dark space.
Right.
Something personally I can relate to, even though I'm a therapist, I'm also a client. And I love my therapist, and I can't miss no sessions, and I won't miss no sessions, and I can't.
So you're that client.
And I can't miss.
I'm outside. Are you here yet?
No. It was at 2:30. It's 2:31. Are you ready?
I'll be there. I'm gonna take my medication. I just have to, because I mean, and the thing is, I was that person that was ashamed, because when I had my first depressive episode as an adult, I was already a therapist. And I felt like, oh, I'm a therapist, I'm not supposed to have problems.
Yeah, no.
That can't be farther from the truth. It was the most unhealthy and unfair thinking that I could have had. So I'm very open now about my mental wellness journey, because people need for me to speak in order for them to feel safe.
Yes.
They need for us to continue to go on radios, go on lives, and talk about this openly so they can connect with us from the comfort of their home. Because they're probably scrolling on Facebook, and that's part of the problem. So we got to put the content out there
where people are,
where they're at.
Yeah.
So that they can access us. Hopefully they call. I tell people on my lives all the time, simply email me and say, need therapy, and I'll help you get the rest. Because sometimes that's all people can say. You know, sometimes writing a whole email or even talking to somebody on the phone is too hard. So I have my practice set up so that my therapist will reach out to the client so that they have somebody to hold their hand. Because I know that place, and I know how it feels to be too anxious to talk, and I know how it feels to be too depressed to move, and even have thoughts of your funeral in your mind that you don't. Those are thoughts that you didn't want. Those intrusive thoughts that just come whether you beckon them or not.
Right.
So just speaking from the place of being that person and walking that wellness journey out so that other people in that space can connect with that and start and or continue their wellness journey too, especially in our community. We already got trauma woven in our DNA from hundreds of years of past trauma and then our present trauma in our families. And so we just wellness is not a choice for us. It is a necessity. It's something we have to do in order to continue to go forward.
It is absolutely that. And I appreciate you for that. We're going to come back and talk more about it, because when you go to a personal place about mental health and you share it openly, oh my goodness, I feel the butterflies in my chest. So we come back, we're going to share more, talk more about this, because there's clearly a need for it. So hang tight. We're going to take a quick break and jump into our second hour. It's Vital right here on V94.9 WATV. Lady Wu and the Vixens and our special guests are in studio. We'll be here. The phone lines are open. Feel free to call now.
MC wants you to win big. Post your favorite concert moment with hashtag MyV94.
Child, my ears is hot. This is a good conversation.
Back. Let me get us set up on social media. So if you're watching, keep watching. Be sure to share this video. We ask that you do that every week, no matter the conversation, no matter the guest, because the conversation is always vital. I am Lady Wu. The Vixens are in the building. Ladies on the other side, introduce yourselves by name again so people can know who they are listening to and watching.
Hey guys, it's Dominique, aka that therapist, lead clinician, and CEO for a group practice known as Yellowbird Counseling.
All right.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tyra Barganier, aka Tyra B, owner of the Red Key Garden, which is a licensed massage therapy clinic.
All right.
My name is Kiana. I am the owner of K Marcel Emporium. I offer cosmetology services and soon cosmetic services.
All right. And you all know the Vixens. Miss Black is over there doing her research thing, and Lovely Bones is participating. She's a participant. I just love that. So let me go to the phone lines before we jump back in with our stories and just bringing this conversation full circle. Caller, you're in again with the Vixens. What's up?
I want to go back to the tickets. I was gonna get my wife a ticket, and I went to the website. Thank you. Went to the website. Looks like now I did this from my cell phone.
Okay.
So I tried it from the Yellowbird website. It didn't work. I clicked on the link. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Went to Eventbrite. The tickets were there. Of course, all the others were sold out except for general admission. With the general admission, I didn't catch all you guys were saying of something that changed about general admission or what it included. Just want to make sure before I bought the tickets, I can let my wife know and all that good stuff too.
Okay.
That's so nice.
Oh, one more thing too. I didn't know if men could come or not. I can't come. I got things to do this weekend. But if men could come or if there's something else going on, I don't know if you guys cover that or not as well too.
Man, you need to let us know who you are. Tell your wife it's okay. The big sons are cool, but we like guys like you.
Right. Like you just gonna buy even though you can't go. Wow.
And then
my name's Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Hey.
What's up? All right. So let's see what's up with these tickets.
Cool days.
So first of all, thank you, Dave. I need to get with my IT department on that link. But yes, this is a unisex event. Men can get their yoni steams just as well as women. Men can get their mental health consults.
It's called something else with that. Why y'all?
What is it called?
A lingam.
Lingam. You can get your lingam steam. And the general admission tickets, though, that price that you see right now is only until the end of this show. So it'll go back up to $50 at the door. So it's $25 now. That general admission ticket includes access to the vendors, access to the 360 photo booth, 2 drink tickets, a meal ticket, and a dessert ticket.
All right. Okay. Cool. So that's your general admission ticket. So go ahead and get that. And
basically it's half price just until Vital Show is over, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
so
really
you got
vital.
to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're in the final hour. So hurry up and get your tickets, people. So we were talking about just the importance of mental health overall, because there are stories that are breaking, and we still have more to go to that happened in the city, but we have 2 halves of the second hour, so we're good. Okay, but I do want to spend special time and pay special attention to where we are right now, because there seems to be a lot of people suffering. The reason that young people are doing, taking the routes that they're taking to relieve pain, that really take, I can talk honestly about it. Dominique, I know, like in school, where did you go?
I went to Oak Mountain.
For your for your licensure, ma'am. I'm sorry, she was drinking some water.
From for college.
Yes, for grade school.
Montevallo, University of Montevallo. Go purple
and that's where I went as well, right? So I had to get
What's
that in there.
Mascot?
Is it a falcon?
The falcon.
Yeah.
A purple falcon.
First of all,
the
the falcon was black or white, and the rest of it was purple and gold.
Okay.
And they just make the falcon look like whichever. Okay, whatever, girl. Not important to this conversation, but I asked her that question because there's a class in the master's program, the suicide class. Like, it's a whole class.
Really?
Yes. And that was one of my favorite classes.
Oh.
It really was, because it's like the all of the misconceptions that you go around with about suicide, and just like, you're going straight to hell. That's a coward's way out. Like, what coward can harm themselves in such a way? Stop that. That takes a lot of strength and a lot of thought. And what? But here it's a movie. It's called The Bridge. Did y'all watch that? It was in the master's program.
Now, that was so long ago.
I will never forget it. So that's why I asked therapists, have you seen this? If anybody can watch it.
It's a movie.
It's like a documentary, The Bridge, and it's talking about the Golden Gate Bridge. And if you all know, like, a lot of people go there for their final, their final rituals or whatever. And it was so riveting because like, it tells you the stories of people who some of them is from the aspects of their family, and then from some of them is of their own perspective, but they either survived or they contemplated. And it really just, I just say watch it. Like, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It really opens your eyes to how people can be in such a place. It talks about, like, their backstory, how they grew up, what they saw, what they experienced, mental health diagnosis or not, traumatic experiences, and how people get to the point of being in so much pain that that's the resort that they actually can get to. Not just ideation, not just a fleeting thought where you're like, you know what, this is just too much for me. Not just that, because a lot of us in this human life, we get there. But to get to the point where this is all that I have left to do. And I just don't want people to get to that point when there's so many other things to try first.
Just read that the Golden Gate Bridge is the most popular suicide destination.
Yeah.
Filmmakers use hidden cameras to capture the various suicide attempts at the Golden Gate Bridge.
So imagine watching that. Like, I drove to class, and then like I would drive back to Birmingham thinking like, wow, like every other day. That's what I'm thinking. Wow, there are people in this much turmoil every day. Every day. I gotta be a great counselor. Where's my cape? So that, like just knowing that there are people out there that need somebody to tell, hey, don't do that. You don't have to jump over here on this couch and let's talk, or let's go walking. Let's go.
Such a scary way to go.
Yeah, like, yeah. So that was something. And just thinking about her story, that had to have gotten to just a god awful place, because she jumped, like just leaped, not even to water. She just leaped from a building. So when I'm being very graphic about it, because for those of you who say that you don't get it, you've never thought about it, you never understood that type of thing, I want you to understand. I want you to hear it, that these are the thoughts that people have, and these are the acts that some people end up
Feel like that's the only
facilitating for
resort
themselves.
they have.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they were some of those people on that movie, because when you were describing it, I remember I did see it. They some of them that survived were talking about as they got to the bottom, they're like, wait,
Wow, what have I done?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, because they don't really want to kill themselves. They really just want to end the pain.
I just don't want to feel like this. Right.
I keep hearing that the past couple of weeks. I keep hearing that same thing. I'm tired of feeling like this.
Like
I'm tired
this.
of hurting. I'm
So-
tired of whatever this is. I'm tired of feeling it.
And so, like, well, what is this? And that's kind of what you said earlier about like really identifying what am I in? What is, like, why am I feeling this way? And a lot of us are triggered by relationships because it's abandonment, it's rejection, it's hurt. You played with me, you lied to me, you made me feel vulnerable, then you took that from me. I see, especially in this age, and this, like this group is all Black women right here. That, and it triggers like feelings of childhood. It triggers
Rejection.
all of that, right? So like some people can just, you know what? I'm gonna have the same attitude you have. Cool, I'm out. Oh, okay, boom. That's it for some people. For other people, nah, I'm about to cut my eyebrows off, shave all my hair. Get piercings, get some tattoos, drive my car real fast.
Start doing heroin.
Do some heroin. That's what they're doing in Birmingham anyway. Like just go wild, right? And then for somebody else, it may be to the fullest of the extreme. I really don't want to ever feel this again.
Right.
So when your friends and family or your whoever it is, they call you and they want to talk about this stuff, if you can't be there for them, reflect and refer. But if you can be there, remember there was a time when you were there.
Yeah.
And I needed somebody to talk to me. So girl, come on, let's talk. I'll pull up and talk if you want me to. What's up? All right, we can ride. Like for real, all right, we can ride out and we gonna talk.
Right.
We gonna talk too. We gonna do this therapy piece, but I'm still that sister girl. We could slash too, which is what you want to do. However you want to go about it. So other stories, how you came out of that place. Like, cause every time we do this, somebody's listening, and I end up getting, like, y'all get messages. We end up getting some correspondence like, man, wait.
So ironically, I kind of addressed, assessed, and had a solution plan to my anxiety and depression when I was in massage school.
Okay.
So there's a segment in which this is why I always press for a licensed massage therapist, because let me tell you, we are given an entire emotional trauma excerpt. That is a portion of our lesson plan. So we got into understanding that people have something called emotional breaks on the table. So, me, I graduated from the University of Montebello as well with a Bachelor of Science in Social Work.
Yes.
So I had the exact same psychology undergrad curriculum up until it was time for me to get to the social work portion of
Mhm.
class. So I already had like a mental health. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this. I'm ready. I'm about to do this. So then I got my first emotional break. I had my first emotional break because I had this one spot on my back and it always hurt. Like it was down like the spinous processes. I know y'all don't know what that is, but it's like the middle of the back where the back kind of splits in
You
half.
sharing your knowledge.
So I had this like pain, like it was stick there and it was always there, but I'm cool with it, stretch it out, call it a day. So my professor actually got it out and I cried. I don't know why I cried, but then she was like, think about why you're having this emotional break. And I remembered I was having that emotional break because that pain was there because I had gotten a car accident 2 years ago. That same 2 years ago, I had just broke up with someone. I was at the bottom of the barrel, 2 months behind on rent in college and stress.
All that.
So 3 years of pain is sitting in one knot.
Wow.
And I didn't even get it out until massage school. So I was able to get out of my break physically, which is actually, to segue, how we got here. Me and Dom were friends already before we came up with any idea. And when I got my license in massage, I was like, Dom, like, partner mental health with massage. Like,
There's a connection.
I can't express. I don't like expressing how I feel because I break down crying. Like, I'm a water baby. Like, I can't even get words out. It's a wrap. Like, you gotta let me cry for 15 minutes. Then I'm gonna get it out. But for someone who don't know what to say, who can't even get the word help out, just lay on the table, just feel good and care about yourself for that hour, that 75, that 90, that 2 hour. God bless the hands that can do a 2 hour.
Or the body that can stand. I get the itch and all that.
Rubbing me all hard.
I done got the itch and you don't flare my eczema. Oh,
okay, flare my psoriasis. But that hour, I've had so many people break. I've become an under the table counselor on accident so many times. Even with us sharing clients at this point in time, her clients come and see me.
Okay.
She puts in our plans, this person has anxiety, depression. This person has been having an issue with this pain because of they're going through this. And I can't tell you how many times I've solved an emotional, mental, and physical problem all in one session. It's ridiculous. So if you can't get your words out, if you're a water baby like me and you can't even get through an hour session without breaking down crying at least 20 times, so you really only got 10 words out, get a massage. You know what I'm saying? Let that trauma come off you, that pain physically come off you first.
Thank you for that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that is super dope. And it reminds me of another resource. It's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. And your body, even if you don't open your mouth and can't cry about it, your body's holding it in somewhere. And so when you were saying that, I'm envisioning this bubble of stress that you have, or this whatever this is, filled with your tension, your stuff, your trauma. These are my feelings right here. And then somebody gets it out. Oh, I'm crying because I finally feel free from that. Your body keeps the score. What have I been through? Who's been through? All of that. Like, oh gosh.
That's deep.
It's super deep. And it was written by a guy that was talking about World War II or Vietnam veterans and how their bodies kept the score regardless of what, like this is where we just served. This is what we went through. But I relate that to all of us. Our bodies keep the score of our traumas. Woo!
And we're also taught like trigger points for mental health. So I don't mind sharing a small help. I do this with Dom all the time, every 2 weeks. You can do it to yourself. So this area right here, press in on it, sink back in it, and just start rubbing. This instantly, what you do is you touch onto your clavicle for those who are listening.
Yes. Look at you. I was just about to say, I was about to go through and talk like that about it.
Yes.
So that's your clavicle.
When you kind of pull your shoulders forward, like you want to give yourself a hump in your back, you're going to feel a little triangle. Reaching that little triangle, it's like a little pit, and you're going to start feeling like you feel like little strings, right? You feel little strings. Those are knots from your neck, from clenching your neck, cussing somebody out, stressing, holding it.
No, I go in.
Holding it in your face. It's pulling all that muscle in your neck.
And where are these?
And this
I don't have no
area.
knots right there. Is that healthy?
This whole neck area right here.
Uh-huh. So right now she's under the turtleneck portion
I'm
of
under
your
the
neck.
turtleneck. I'm into the personal, like, we have like a personal, I call it a personal triangle.
Okay.
Start from the bone, which is your clavicle, and then just fall over that bone into the pits.
Mm-hmm.
And in there is where you can feel around, kind of familiarize yourself. And as you're familiarizing yourself, you're starting to feel a little calm. You feel a string. You kind of want to get that string out. You can do this to yourself, and it's going to relieve some stress, some calm. It's going to give you some calmness.
Okay.
And we're taught like special areas like that in school, as well as we provide a treatment plan of some sort to our clients. You know, we tell you to do some homework, you know?
So like if I'm having a panic attack or some type of anxiety issues or
Just
I can do that
cut
as a
yourself
coping
off
skill.
and just focus on, find a little knot and just go to work.
So if you can go and view, like Tyra's showing you this right now, but we'll also share it and you can go back and watch it later on the V94.9 page, Lady Woo, my personal page, also our YouTube page, and Vital Show on Facebook. You can go to all of those different places and find out how to do that. It's something really simple. I think about like when it's cold, I do that. I just do it anyway in my jacket. Like I have my hands in like here. I do that anyway. Maybe that's why I don't have those strings. I played them out.
It's like a place of comfort, you know. It's also like a self-hug, like, hey, ground yourself, anchor yourself in. Sometimes I like to pull.
Let me have on a hoodie. I do that. I really do. Okay, so cool. Another note taking, y'all. You can get several of those on Saturday at the expo. It's going to be at Pep's. Doors open at 1. Doors open at 1. Come through and enjoy that and share with us. Segue into another thing that happened this week before we go to our break. We got about 5 more minutes in this part of the show. And then final part, we'll just cover some world news and other things, whatever you guys are thinking about. But here in Birmingham, we talked about the police chief resigning. But then there was a video that went around where everybody, it was like the talk of the city for a minute. And I of course, I thought about the person's or the family's mental health as it relates to what was seen all around the world. All around the world. Okay. And nobody really knew what was going on in the video. There have been conspiracies about this thing. Like, was it Tyra over there doing a massage?
It was not.
I said, if my camera is ever on and I'm getting a massage, y'all better send the bird.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, especially if your lamp is rocking like that,
Whoa.
and if your mouth open incidentally. I got you, girl. Don't do that. Turn the camera off.
But just like tell me anyway. Like even if you don't know what's going on and we're on a work Zoom,
girl, it
like,
look weird over there. Turn your camera off.
Whatever it is you're doing. So for those of you, I mean, everybody's heard about it now because I want to say that it was discussed on our station in the think tank one day. And
it was?
I think so. I think so.
Oh.
So yeah.
Jumped on that. Show
up. Yep. So it was already discussed here. It was discussed everywhere else. But the vital part of it is that when things like that happen, I don't care what I'm doing, I can be affected by it in a way that may cause me some mental anguish. And I don't think that people think about that when in the midst of what's going on with other people. This somebody else's stuff and everybody else is having fun with it. And I'm sitting at home crying, wanting to blow the whole Birmingham up. Like,
yeah.
Who, you know what I mean?
I thought about it again. That's why I laughed again because I'm like, yeah, I remember being in that position. I did want to blow the entire Birmingham up, tearing
surrounding areas. Birmingham and surrounding areas.
Everywhere. I did.
I want to blow y'all up. So what was it? What?
I mean, like I've said before, I wasn't there, but I know what it looked like. And
but, okay, no. Let's go back to what you just said. I know how I felt.
Right. I do know how I remember how I felt when it was happening. And I didn't really necessarily feel like anybody was judging me. I felt like this is a taboo type of subject. So yeah, people are gonna talk about it. We're grown. So yes, if you're having sex on camera,
okay,
people are gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, it was the way that mine was put out there. It wasn't like I was on a camera that I could have turned off and went on here and did my do. Somebody put this on the internet.
Okay.
In an attempt to hurt me, in an attempt to embarrass me. And yeah, it did kind of embarrass me because it was sent to my mother. But at the same time, I'm grown. I have sex. I have a child. Like, I'm not embarrassed. Wow. I'm not going to deactivate my page. Y'all do it too. And actually, girlfriend, Like, I haven't had it all year, so you doing better than me. I just want you to be honest about it.
So
like, own it. I owned everything that I've done.
okay.
And I go to sleep fine at night because regardless of strangers so-called judging me, I sleep fine.
But I think we have to get to a point of that, and I know that people can be, like I said, when it's not you, you have no regard for everything else with it. Like everybody wants to be the one that said, "No, that's what it was." I thought it was like.
I mean, there are rooms for jokes because, like, come on, the excuse that came behind like that movement and all of that stuff. Like, girl, come on, stop playing. Don't play with us. Like, we're not. Come on, stop.
I do have a question for general public, and for people who are on the outside looking in on these situations. Like you said, we're grown, and especially like I love being here at this station because we know that typically the listeners are very grown, and I don't have to sugarcoat conversation. I just have to be professionally responsible.
Right.
So we don't have to act as if we don't know what's going on. But what I do anticipate when things like this happen is that people are. You think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't ever see where anybody says, you know what, I ain't gonna even get in this conversation because I got some stuff too that if y'all find out about it and start posting it and talking about it, I would be embarrassed. And I just always wonder about that. Do people really think about their own stuff in these times?
Not always. It's like people pick and choose when they feel a way about something. Like, oh, you didn't feel like that when so-and-so was put out like that. Oh, but now all of a sudden you got a conscious girl. Bye. I don't want to talk to you about that either. Because, again, we're all grown. We're human. We all do this. So stop being so sensitive about it. I know that people have to deal with things in their own time and they grow or whatever the case may be. But stop just trying to make everybody else seem like they just so low down and dirty. Because honestly, I ain't put the tape out there. I didn't do it. I was just looking at it just like everybody else look at these prints and these celebrities and stuff that get leaked on a regular basis. Nobody can bypass the internet.
I just want to know, like, and yeah, jokes gonna fly regardless.
Yeah,
that's just
they gonna fly. We from Birmingham.
But
we joke.
I just want to know, like, for the people that were in the room at the time,
girl.
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't have posted that video. I would have said, girl, let me tell you what happened. But I would have not.
And that's what I said.
Cloud,
Somebody,
sorry.
I feel like whoever recorded it did it with intentions to hurt her because of who they sent it to after that.
But you record meetings.
Because it was, and then the thing about it for me.
No, that was recorded like with a phone.
It was recorded with a phone on the laptop. And the thing that got me was everybody's mic was muted. Couldn't nobody shoot a chat. Hey girl, turn that camera off.
Not to her. Someone shot a chat to the leader of the group chat because you see it in the video. They tell them, but not the young lady, the older white woman, that's the leader. She released the 3 minutes and 9 second video of the whole Zoom. She's on she's like on several posts saying, here's the
but she's saying like here it is because that's not what it is that she's
saying. Well, she's saying she doesn't believe that. She wholeheartedly says she doesn't believe that. She said she knows this young lady. She's been an educator for years. Her 10 years.
Like educators don't have sex.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying this woman is the leader, and she is.
She basically said that her husband and her kids, they were there with her. And she was being nudged, and her children were playing on the bed. That's what was said between her and another individual that worked with the young lady.
Okay.
I don't know what to believe.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But that's where it comes in to like, do I care that much? I mean, okay, we saw it now. It was last week.
Yeah,
right.
It's not that scandalizing. Like, oh, we're gonna just keep this going. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Now, depending on what it would have looked like, maybe. Oh, this was,
And if it was a celebrity that I really, really loved on the low, I would have wanted to watch that video and assume that was. If you really, if I really like that celebrity, I'd be like, yeah.
I think people kept talking about it based on the bizarre excuse behind what was going on. Because people like, wait, I got questions. Because no, ma'am. That's why people kept talking about it. And everything, like every story, it has its smoke and it'll die down. Next week, something else will happen.
So question, when something happens, do you all look for people to speak out immediately about it, or to like, hey, I'm gonna tell my own story so y'all can stop coming up? Do we look for that?
I don't think I'm the type that I don't think that who is owed the explanation, right?
Okay.
No one is owed an explanation for your own scandal. You can just let it roll away.
Hello.
Right.
You can let your scandal slide, and because it's something new at this point, it's something new every day. So
tomorrow,
week,
one of y'all gonna top me anyway.
Literally in the next
It'll be your
hour,
turn,
10
girlfriend.
things will have happened that had already topped you. I'm just saying.
Hello.
Huh. Wow, the day and age that we live in. I remember back in the day when they weren't killing how they're killing in Birmingham. You know, like back in the day that we were talking about earlier.
The crackhead day.
Right. That's what he said, right?
Right.
That's what he said. Back in those days, I don't even remember. We were probably too young. I don't know, but I don't remember how scandal got out unless somebody saw it and they just said it. And
about
then
word
it
of
went.
mouth.
That's how mine had got out. Somebody that saw it, they told on me. I was like,
you better not tell nobody else.
No, they
But
told
wouldn't that be so much
You lying.
easier if it was just that? Now we thought that was bad, but now you got like screenshots where people got to save. They can send it.
I want to see the receipts.
No, because back in the day there were no receipts. You just said it. Maybe somebody may have
If
gotten
it happened, it happened.
maybe somebody got a picture of you
Right.
walking into the hotel with
with a Nokia phone.
No, with the disposable camera.
Oh, girl, stop.
Who has those other than you?
I have a Polaroid.
Oh,
You have them. But who else just walks around like with them?
You used to have to open a magazine to catch what's really going on. Like,
So the paparazzi was popping.
The paparazzi was making bank. I mean, they're making money now because of social media, like even more money because they don't have to pay all that. They could just be their own blogger. They can have their own personal page and start their own drama. But back then, you used to get 15, 20K for a picture of a pinky toe
you will
of your
not
favorite
put this
celebrity.
out. Give it back. Don't put this out on me.
Listen.
But then now when you have this, you have social media, you have Zoom, StreamYard, all these different ways of communicating. Where during the pandemic, we talked about this. During the pandemic, people got used to. Well, at first it was that you worked from the top, from just the top. You probably just have on some panties at the bottom,
right?
And then
but you wasn't laying down, so we didn't see that.
But wait, you get up and you walk to the bathroom in your Zoom. Look. And your coworkers are screaming, "Whoa, whoa, we see you."
Clapping.
And I got to run back over here, stop my camera or laugh or whatever.
Ain't no running back over. I would have stopped and dropped and rolled over. I could turn it on. Like,
I have a special caller. Hold, please. Caller, you're in with Vital on V94.9WATV. What's your question or comment?
Yes, I just have a comment right quick. I don't know the situation about what you all are talking about, but apparently something was released that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But here recently, last year, one of the political analysts on CNN was in an early meeting, morning meeting, and he was seen by the team members masturbating.
Oh.
They were having a Zoom meeting, and he was a well-respected political analyst.
Really? Somebody just called in trying to do that tonight.
And I heard that.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that person who called in, but he was off of the air for a good period of time because of what he was seen doing. What he was seen doing. He didn't realize that he was on, that he was already in the meeting. But they suspended him for a good period of time, and he's back on now.
Yay. I mean, okay. Thank you for that. I didn't know that happened.
So it will pass, whatever you all are talking about for that particular young lady. It'll pass.
I'll tell you about it later. All right.
certainly will pass. But okay, why he couldn't have waited? Like you are moments. That's like, okay, we be sitting on Zoom in here and on StreamYard in here. That's like me pulling up my shirt and just massaging myself. And like, no, I forgot that we were on camera. I see myself.
It's really different. I'm really having a hard time understanding this. But okay, so in that particular instance that she was saying, they were in Zoom during the pandemic when people were at home. So you're in the privacy of your own home. And is it just that pressing in this moment?
Like, right, what hit you? Oh, somebody slipped him that honey. I know what y'all did to that man. I know what y'all did to that man. And y'all slipped in some honey on that chicken. And hey, I know what happened. Never mind. I know what happened.
See, yay. So, it's just so layered here. Like, So most, you go to these different. Somebody may have some at their table Saturday where they have these little camera covers. They give them away at different conventions and expos and stuff, and you put it on your screen on your little camera and you slide it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just trying to see.
It's not even necessary.
It could happen to any of us because I've made a mistake and hit unmute, or I'm on the camera right quick and I quickly go back. But it's not like I'm doing something because I know I'm in a meeting. I know where I am.
That's true.
Like, you're not going to be distracted for 3 whole minutes.
I may be asleep for 3 minutes. And I may have narcolepsy.
And he should have called 911 if that's what was going on. He should have called an ambulance.
He's used to it. He lives with me.
Yeah, but she was unresponsive. You should have called somebody.
No, she was very responsive. Like, when her mouth opened a couple times, she was responsive.
Well, that was the part of the snoring,
she couldn't breathe.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
I was not there. And so that's
Right,
why
I
I
wasn't
really
there.
cannot say what, like we have our thoughts.
Technically, no one was there. We all saw it the same way. The Zoom
And I ain't
people
seen no
saw it on the
kids.
camera, so no one was there.
The Zoom people saw it on the camera. So I put the responsibility on the Zoom people. Okay.
The Zoom people.
Because the Zoom people was like enjoying the show, I guess.
Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to be
in the corner.
funny.
He was just like,
right. It's not like someone walked around the corner and was like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are here. Like, it was like 12 other people on this Zoom. Like,
what do we take from this that's vital? What is the takeaway?
Turn that camera off.
Come on,
Start with the camera off.
okay. And if it's not mandatory, don't do it. Relax. If you tired, you tired.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't log in.
Right. Don't log in.
Okay.
If you have to log in for a Zoom meeting, or your kids have to log in for virtual school or whatever, sit up.
Oh, you know what's vital about this? We all need to know, even during the pandemic and meetings, you can still be late. It's okay. Hey, let them know you're running 5 minutes behind from the living room.
It's
yes,
weird,
ma'am.
but okay.
Yes, I am late, ma'am.
Like, why are you even late? You didn't have to go nowhere. But
Say
whatever.
that.
Whatever, girl.
Trust me, y'all. You
Be late. Just be
And
late.
also pay attention to your camera.
Yes.
I'm used to being on Zoom for different things, even real estate class. Pay attention to your camera. That's all that is. Pay attention to your mute, your camera. If you know you're not looking up the par or you tired, turn off the camera and put it on mute. That's it.
Yeah, we had a lot of time to practice. Like I said, we used to just get dressed. I never did it. I did it maybe like for the church service, but
You sit in your drawers at church service.
maybe for that. What?
God know your heart. It's okay. You know your heart.
So yeah, maybe for that. But like a session, if I had a virtual session or something, like let me put some clothes because I may get up or just whatever. Like, But in seasons or sessions where I don't have to turn my camera on, I leave it off.
Right.
But then somebody was saying, let's just say this right quick. Somebody else said that, hey, the administrator has permissions to turn the camera on. I lead Zooms and I really ain't trying to turn nobody's camera on. And I didn't even do that to my students who were college students. If they never turned the camera on and they fell asleep, that's on them. You're going to miss something. But I'm not going to turn your camera on to see if you're sitting at a desk.
Right. See, that's why that little contraption came into play, right? Because I can manually cover my camera. And even if you turn it on, it's still covered. You know.
So we need to get some
right here. It say stop cam. So I'm sure it has that function on all streaming.
I wonder if everybody can stop their cam. What does that look like? Stop your cams. What's that look like?
Let me see.
I think it's just gonna show the view.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And
simple.
now I'm back.
Yeah.
See, I did it myself.
Yeah.
Well, even if you have some people might have a kink,
You might
Kink,
just hit
Yeah,
it.
she a
kink
king.
population is a thing, and it's okay. But just maybe getting with a sex therapist if that is your situation, and discussing what the boundaries
I like to have
of
sex
that
on camera,
kink.
right?
That's
Yeah.
vital though.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what's vital about it, right? Because it is healthy to have a healthy sexual life, right?
And
If
appetite.
you have an overly high sexual appetite, you may need to seek counseling for that. And that's okay, and what
Or
that
low.
looks like you may not be able to recognize when it's an appropriate time to be engaging in sex. You may not be able to, recognize when it's appropriate time to be pleasuring yourself. Both of these people look like perfect candidates, and that is vital. I mean, that's vital. Right into the therapy queue.
Yeah.
Right there.
All right.
Way to go,
So
Doc.
that's that on that. Be sure to turn your camera off. You got the vital pieces of it. I wanted to have some children come in, some students to come in, because during the week, also Monday and Tuesday of last week, school was out. We broke that news at the end of the show
Right.
last week.
It's about 8:43. I think
Yeah, like we were getting ready to get off, and the parents started complaining immediately about how last minute it was, and oh my god, I don't even have a device for my kid. What?
the same device you're using to make this post.
Give it to the children.
Like
But the kid
The
has
children.
The
two
children
pair of
got-
shoes that cost about $400.
Okay. Okay. They took the computers back. Okay.
Your baby got a cell phone too that they be on posting pictures of them with their middle fingers on Facebook too.
And they be doing TikToks on that iPad.
and Fortnite and Roblox.
Right.
Okay. So,
Child.
breaking news here on Vital went down that there was a group of teachers, probably the same couple of these that were on the Zoom, that participated in a sick out because of the conditions of the school system in the pandemic. Like, hey, we are still in it, and we are still getting sick, and we still have parents sending their students to school saying that it's their allergies. And that they don't have to wear their masks because of religious and political reasons. Children are telling teachers this. I have had these teachers to tell me this. One just sat down and had a full conversation with me yesterday. Boom. She teaches middle school students. I said, so they smart enough to say that. That's okay then, children. So, I wanted to have some students on to talk about how they feel about the conditions of their schools. Do you all feel that your schools are safe? And then it was just like, okay, a week, I got other stuff to work on, so I'm not going to be able to get to these children before the show Sunday night. However, we heard from students. I mean, we heard from parents, we heard from teachers, but we didn't hear from students about what they think and feel about COVID. Nobody's heard from the children.
Right.
Do they want to be virtual? And I would think no, because y'all lost basically a whole year and a half, 2 years of learning, and you feel
Trapped.
and delayed.
They don't feel delayed because how do they know they're delayed, right? They don't know it yet.
My daughter just asked me today. She's, you know how she is. She was being crazy.
Yep.
But she did say, oh, we going to church, like back to the building. What I'm supposed to do? I was like, man, come on, man. Like I'm supposed to.
What
I
I'm supposed to do
mean,
now?
I said, what you
Stand
used
up
to
and clap?
do?
What?
Right.
She's
She like
like-
they still doing that same thing.
Get out the car, bro. Like, what? So you got children like that know, like, yeah, I think I got a little slow. Like she said this. Some things have happened since this pandemic, Ma. Like,
Okay.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to do in
Well,
here.
I guess they do know they.
Am I supposed to be clapping? Like, what's up? I said, just come here and sit down right here. So I can only imagine, like, them. You just spent a whole grade at your house on a device.
with no? So, man, it's so layered, and I feel my heart really goes out to both the parents and the students, because my heart goes out to the parents that want to, right? The parents that want to assist their child but don't have the necessary tools. They don't have the resources themselves, right? I can't teach you arithmetic, child, because I barely made it through that myself. You know, I'm from the age where the teacher just brushed me on because I said yes ma'am and no ma'am, right?
Okay.
So then you also have the parent that is totally disengaged. I don't even know, is my child in school today?
What's your teacher name?
Don't know. You know, I didn't even know y'all had
TCS employee.
hello BCS employee. That's what it says on the Zoom, right? So my heart just goes out to them, to those parents, and then it goes out to the students, because you have some overachievers that it is mentally going to break, because I have never suffered like this in school. I've never struggled this hard. It's never been this hard for me to get acclimated with what's going on. So you will have some children that will have a break. Some children are experiencing the best life they ever had before in school. What? At home, breakfast in bed, roll over to this tablet. They are in class, in bed. Think about it. When school got back in, again, my children are not, they're grown, but I remember hearing a teacher saying it was no support because some students are in the bed, in the sheets, in the cover, in class, right? So it's, for me, it's just, my heart just goes out to the entire situation, because I'm like, man, the deficit that is happening, we will see this in our adults in 5-7 years, right? We're going to know when this person hands me $3 back in change and I wasn't supposed to get any change. Oh, you were part of the pandemic.
Yeah. So what happened? I was supposed to give you that back. Right. So I was thinking about solutions, and if we are looking at the school being like this cesspool of COVID, and I ain't gonna lie, I was in a school gym yesterday for a game, and I ain't even want to sit down. It was all types of juice and candy. I said, "What the hell is this?" But where? Okay, so remember they used to ask us for all this stuff at the beginning of the year. The stuff, I'm not sending all that. I'm sending what you need, and I'm gonna write your name on it. But now I see why that would be necessary. Okay, so we just ask for the stuff, right? So they, instead of sicking out, parents, what if we just sent extra stuff? Or we decided to, hey, we're gonna send wipes this week, Clorox wipes this week, and then hey, I create my own schedule. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come up here and wipe some stuff down. I guess what we need to do, because they need to be at school. Like, why we can't do that?
What district that's happening in? Woo, in Birmingham?
I mean, that's where my child is. I do it. Oh, I'm solution focused. I'm just trying to see, like, what y'all, they don't have the devices, and y'all don't want them at home. So go up to the school and clean up.
The supply list has been in existence before the pandemic, and no one has ever fulfilled that list. So
because we didn't need it then, Rosa. It wasn't no COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
There was no pandemic.
Yeah, you didn't need a tablet either, but your child had it, but now they need it. They ain't got it. Make it make sense.
I'm trying to make it make sense. Okay. So we know that it's not going anywhere. We know that other variants are rolling out, and that they are even more contagious. We do know that people are canceling stuff left and right, but students are, I think, the most
neglected in this situation.
And it's about them, right?
Yes. Right. Yes.
So what happens? The teachers say, look, we are doing this to take a stand for what we need in the school system. But then the parents get mad. The children just like, well,
the
we
parents
ain't really got no dog in the
the
fight.
kids still at home.
But I think we have to. I agree with you, Woo. How do we find a resolve for it? That's the most concerning piece, because it's no different than someone making you aware that they need mental health assistance. Now you're asking someone to open their door and let you know, hey, I need assistance rearing my child. When has that ever been acceptable in the Black community?
You just need assistance cleaning this school up so that COVID won't come home with my student or either get on the teacher. Oh, goodness gracious. How are we going to ever get out of this thing?
Okay.
I would like to know what is the true end plan to all of this, because at this point we're now on like year 3,
right?
Yeah.
So like, do we just fade off into the distance and that's just that? Like, what's the end to this?
We just gonna keep on wearing masks and
get shots and get boosted again. But what happened with the flu? What happened with influenza? Like, did we just kind of get used to it?
Yes, we did. That's exactly what happened.
But how long did it take?
We don't know. We weren't there.
The flu was around
we weren't there.
We got here, so
we weren't there when all of this started.
You stayed home. That's just all that was.
Okay, so you think about
it.
Right. You think about how much stuff changed for those who were us then. So if the flu came, and we look at how the mall closes at 8. I'm like, 8,
right? Like, my mall closed at 9.
No, like we close at 8.
Yeah.
And during the other days we close at 7.
Yes.
So we close at these times because we don't have enough staff.
That's correct.
And we don't have enough staff because of the pandemic.
That's
how this started. Go ahead, Keith.
I just got to say something about the not enough staff.
Yeah.
It's people out here with no jobs that is applying and they're telling them they're overqualified or they're underqualified. And then they complain about being understaffed because I have emails and I've been trying to apply and
I want to do something else.
I've been overqualified. I've had somebody who has told me I never, in my years of working, of 11 years of customer service, I've never had someone tell me I'm overqualified for a position until this year.
And that's not flattering when you're looking for a job.
That is correct.
In a pandemic, when you need some staff.
That is so crazy. How am I over? Okay, yeah, I'm a brain surgeon, but I also want to come in here and fry these fries back here.
Right.
Now let me matter. Now let me back there.
And even when you want to get paid your worth, you're still overqualified, but you don't have anybody working for you.
Right. That's the thing.
And it kills me because it goes to show how many people are really needing a job, and these jobs are saying these people are lazy. No, you're lazy because you don't want to hire these people.
That's
you don't want to
factual.
take the time out to sift through the interviews, through the resumes to figure out the best candidate, because now you're so used to being shut down, you didn't have to go through that.
That's right. I think it's a crutch for everyone from corporate America to just everyday working America, right? I do get the fear aspect of it because I do think it's real. I do think COVID is real. I do think people have lost loved ones because of it. So I get it. I also do think and know that some of the COVID relief has caused crutches in the economy, in our social lives, in everyday lives. And that's what I'm waiting on to know, how do we work back out of that, right? Because I think the pandemic exposed a lot. It exposed that minimum wage wasn't really minimum. We could not survive on that. I think it exposed that people were really being overworked, underpaid. I think it exposed people's unhappiness in their actual life at home. Again, the pandemic exposed so much to you'll be hard pressed not to find somebody ready to change your life or find something different. Like if you find somebody that's put me back where I was November 2019. Say what?
Right.
I don't think you could find someone like that. But I agree with her. I agree with Key. Like it's going to be difficult for those that are looking for jobs, because I think corporate America has been crutched at this point, right? Because hey, if I can tell the government I need help and I keep getting a check and I ain't got to deal with the workforce.
And I thought that stopped. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with Vital. What's your question or comment? Oh, they hung up. Okay. So yeah, everybody's crutched and crippled by what we have endured with pandemic of COVID, which we are still very much in. But are we a flexible people? Are we able to adjust? And what I'm learning is that it's really difficult for a lot of people to adjust. You know, like I was talking to another single mother earlier today about how you can be, you know, to your child, you are it. You know, like you are their lifeline, you are their source. But they have another parent that's able. They may not be willing, but they're definitely able. And example being given, child's other parent, non-custodial parent, picks child up from event, brings child to custodial parent, but doesn't think to stop and get them something to eat in between or ask them if they need anything. You just bring them home. Pass by 100 restaurants. You know, like they
unlock the door as soon as they bend the corner to where your house at. Like, what my child do to you?
Yeah. And I say all of that to say, like, being able to be flexible and to adjust. So in a season where, you know, I know a lot of people are saying, well, I don't have anybody else to watch my child if, you know, to be at home with my children during virtual school and you just let me know Sunday night. I think now I do get that. I absolutely get that. You can't trust your you don't know your neighbors to go say, hey, I know my neighbors enough to say, hey, I need you all to do so-and-so on both sides and in front of me. So I'm that type of person in a neighborhood where if we're in a neighborhood and you're my neighbor, hey neighbor, whatever it is. But I really do believe that most people don't utilize that system. and then actually holding the other people that are part of your children's lives responsible and accountable.
Right.
So normally I'm calling you for nothing, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and I gotta work. And if I don't work, you gotta pay child support and you gotta pay even more of it. So pick your kids up and let them come. Like we gotta start talking to folks like that.
Right.
Where's your mama? She need to come over here and do this. Or
My mama just had her last week.
Okay.
like, God.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're in with Vital V94.9WATV. What's your comment, question, thought, feeling?
Okay, it's about COVID-19 and what's going on with the school system.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is concerning the teachers and the sick out. They did that because they have unmet needs. They're in a very unsafe environment in the schools because the schools are not cleaned.
Right.
The federal government has sent tons of money here to this red state. And they choose to do something different with the money.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers have a right to have a sick out. They shouldn't be responsible for cleaning a building.
Right.
And the parents should not be responsible for that. Teachers should not be responsible for bringing cleaning products, nor should the parents. There is money for that, federal money for that. And I am sick and tired of Birmingham being put in a situation to be made to look so badly.
Yeah.
I don't like it. The parents, the community need to get behind Dr. Mark Sullivan and support him. He is a product of Birmingham school system. He's well qualified. He knows what to do. He needs to have the support in doing that. There needs to be a deep cleaning throughout all of these schools so that teachers and students can be there safely.
Okay.
And when I say a deep cleaning, I mean professional cleaning. There's no reason that the state, and I'm talking about the governor, should be allowing to happen what's happening here. They need to take some responsibility and be a leader in using the money what it's intended for.
Okay.
I thank you for taking my call.
For sure, she came with that force.
And did.
She did.
So I hope the right people heard it. And that does shine a lot of light on it because people are concerned about what's happening. People are concerned, and especially if we have students in the system, we have friends and family that teach in the system and that serve in different roles in the system. So yeah, if there's money for it and the governor has it and she trying to build prisons with it, I mean,
she too busy making commercials trying to love Trump.
In line.
I want an itemized, I know subrogation isn't the term here, but I want an itemized list of what is the money that's provided to the state of Alabama? What does it do dollar by dollar, cent by cent? If the church I went to once upon a time, they was cool with it. They was like, hey, here's a letter. This is where all your money went towards. Mm-hmm. I feel like as citizens of Birmingham and citizens of the state of Alabama, we have the rights. I feel like we have the rights to know where our tax dollars are going. To the last cent.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, itemized, earmarked. This is what this is for. This is for each school in this district to have this, that.
Okay. This amount of your money was put towards lunches for this prison system. This money was allotted for school books. This money was, it would be interesting to see how much of the money actually went to the school system.
And I want that itemized list audited.
Absolutely. Because you know somebody lying.
Because you always know somebody lying.
Always.
It's got to make sense. And what we're saying now is that a lot of things are not making sense to us or to those that are outside and other places watching. But one thing I do want us to know, we talk about Birmingham and its issues. It's because we're here.
Right.
People in other places have the same issues and greater issues.
Yes.
But we're here. This is home for us. So just in your own house, you know what kind of mess you got in your house.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you think that it's just yours and it's your friend. No, they got mess over there at their house too. This family, they dysfunctional too. So it's all around. These issues are all around. But if you're doing your part at making sure that, you are doing your part, you're being vital in your space with your people, for your children, for your community, you would feel better about it. I really don't. I hardly ever feel bad about what's going on around me because I know I'm doing my part.
Right.
Now, if I wasn't doing nothing, and had to turn a blind eye to everything that was happening, I can only imagine what I would feel like, and I don't want to feel that way. So,
That's right.
Yeah. We're almost at the end of the show. 2 minutes. This week and this week only, all Vital shirts are $10. You have to come pick them up. If you're out of state, I will mail. This ain't no store. This is this is specifically for branding purposes. We want you to believe that you are vital. We want you to start doing it before February 1st, because this what it says on your chest. I am vital. And I think that's a part of us being prideful in who we are, knowing we stand for, knowing our purpose and things like that. So $10 this week only. You can reach out to us on any of our social media. You can hit me up in my inbox. You can even, you use so many ways. However you need to reach me, you can reach me and get a shirt. I showed them earlier, so many different colors, styles, solid t-shirts, quarter length tees. Shouts out to Jay Bocci. He got 4 of them and was rocking them yesterday. And a lot of people just like,
no, we did not. I'm not.
Now you acting like Carmen. Stop. But yeah, get your shirts this week. We'll be all posting them this week. And there are some big things about to happen by way of Vital Show. So don't go far. Stay close. Be sure you're connected on social media. Ladies, thank you all so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and then maybe doing some things in the future when it comes to conversations like this. If you've enjoyed the show, be sure to follow us, share the stream, and we'll be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. right here on V94.9 WATV. Y'all have a great day. Be vital. Talk to you in the morning, 10 a.m. for Lady Woo's Midday Feng Shui.
Yes. I like this. It was good to not type,
Good night, everyone.